On a cold morning in 331 BC, the wind swept through the towering Zagros Mountains. The peaks were silent, yet hidden within that silence was an unseen danger. Waiting patiently below, a young Kurdish warrior, Azar, stood atop a high cliff, surveying the valley as the ground trembled beneath thousands of marching soldiers and dust rose like a swirling storm. Behind him, his father Darren approached quietly and said, "They have arrived," Azar asked without turning. "Who?" Darren took a deep breath. "The man who claims dominion over the world, Alexander the Great." The name spread through the air like a cold wind. The conqueror who defeated the Persian Empire, conquered Egypt, and whose army no one had been able to stop, now approached these mountains. He stood at the gateway of the Zagros Mountains, and below, his vast army gazed at the peaks. One of his generals said confidently, "These are just mountain tribes. We can defeat them easily." Alexander remained silent, knowing mountains were not battlefields and that they had their own rules. He commanded, "Advance." The army entered the passes. The pass seemed empty and clear. No enemy appeared, and the soldiers laughed, thinking they must have fled in fear. But on the cliffs above, Azar and his companions waited silently. Unseen, Darren whispered, "Remember, we do not fight in the fields. We are the mountains." As the army entered a narrow gorge, a signal was given, and large boulders rained down from above. Screams echoed, chaos erupted, and shadows moved swiftly. Strikes were sudden, silent, and deadly. Then, just as quickly, they vanished into the mountains, as if they had never been there. This continued for days, and whenever the army advanced, sudden attacks struck, leaving the soldiers in fear. "We are fighting ghosts," one whispered. One night, Alexander sat alone before a fire, staring at the mountains, and said, "We can conquer the world, but not these mountains." The next morning, he advanced cautiously, understanding that these people would never bow completely. Above, Azar stood on the cliff, watching the army slowly retreat. He asked his father, "Have we won?" Darren smiled and replied, "We always win, because we are the mountains." The wind blew, the peaks remained silent, and that day they had stopped a great conqueror. Centuries later, from this land, another legendary leader would rise, none other than Sultan Salah al-Din al-Buai. The strength of the mountains, the courage of the people, and their defiance became a story told through generations.